Marvel Rivals has been out for about 2 months now, and you can't deny it. Players from all different gaming backgrounds are coming together to enjoy this game. Whether it's their first FPS game, their first hero shooter, whether their main game is a completely different genre entirely, or they're just Overwatch fans that have gotten tired of Overwatch and want a different game to play, just about everyone and their mother is playing this game right now. And one of the main things I see people talking about is the ranked play. Everybody's ready to get to that level 10, get their hands on rank, see how well they can do at rising up the ranks. Now, for me personally, it's been feeling like hell, but I will say a lot of the Marvel Rivals community, whether it be from Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, have been doing a great job of exposing a lot of the problems that ranked play possesses right about now. And I kind of wanted to use this video as a way to kind of highlight some of the main issues that I've either heard or seen from playing ranked for myself. And I'm trying to speak on behalf of like the mid to lower ranks, saying like diamond and below. But if you're a diamond or above player and you feel like a lot of what I'm talking about still persists in those ranks, feel free to let us know in the comments, spark a conversation. Let us know how accurate this list is for higher play. But without further ado, let's get started on some of the ranked play issues that Marvel Rivals has done a good job at exposing. Starting with the honorable mention of playing to have fun versus playing to win. Now, I'm not saying you can't do both, right? I get it. It's a hero shooter with Marvel characters. Of course, you're gonna wanna play as your favorite character. But when it comes to rank, people are going to care a lot more about winning the game. Sometimes even making sacrifices like switching off of their favorite character or favorite role for the sake of winning the game. If that does not sound like something you're interested in and you're just dead set on playing your favorite character or playing the way you want to play, even if the rest of the team isn't a fan of it, you might want to keep it in quick play before people start getting toxic. This is just a fair warning. Take it how you want. Which leads me to my first actual point, switching.
Okay, you have to switch with me.
A lot of people tend to call out switches, asking people to switch characters, switch roles, without actually wanting to do it themselves. I feel like I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to this. I'm not gonna be one of the players that's like, oh, round start, you picked Black Widow or you picked some character that isn't seen as like super good, we immediately lost. You gotta switch off that. No. My take on that is I'm willing to let you cook, but you have to actually cook. If you're gonna play like a Black Widow or a Scarlet Witch and you drop like 40 and a half, you got it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great work. Keep it up. But if you pick one of those characters and you're like 0-6 and a half, we've been playing for like 10, 15 minutes, you ain't done nothing useful, yeah, it's time for you to switch off that character. And if you're just bombing on the role entirely, now might be the time for you to switch roles. You can stay on your character if you're doing well, if you can show that you know what you're doing. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of people that will ask for that switch and not want to do it themselves. And my whole ideology behind that is if you're willing to ask for the switch, nobody moved, but you also don't want to swap, then stop talking, because apparently you don't want that switch as bad as you claim you do. If you really wanted it bad enough, you would have been the difference and made the change. But since you keep asking somebody else to play the second tank, the third healer, and you didn't move, I guess we just not gonna see that change. We gonna keep going as is. If we regroup at half and be like, you know what, they were right, maybe we do need a second tank or a third healer or whatever, then fine, we can go from there. But we don't need to keep,
oh, we need this, we need that.
Are you gonna do it?
No, it's not gonna be me. Somebody else gotta go do it.
Then we not making that change, brother. If it ain't broke, ain't no reason to switch it around. Point number 2, metas, or should I say meta dependency. This is what triple healers is doing. Nobody wants to do damage. There's no way I'm dropping almost 30 because nobody else wants to play DPS. Are you serious? Now the key here is meta dependency. There's nothing wrong with a meta every once in a while. Every game has a meta at some point, whether it's a game like League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex, or even games like COD where they give you a million different weapons and maybe a certain class or a specific weapon in particular becomes the meta. It becomes a problem when that meta is now a dependency where you have to use this weapon or you have to play this character in your team comp or else you're gonna lose, you're gonna get blown out by anybody else using it. That's when a meta becomes a problem. And I feel like Marvel Rivals is not at that point yet where we have to run 3 DPS or 3 healer or 3 tank or some crazy culmination of characters in order to win. This game is still very early on in its life cycle. I feel like this is especially important in the lower ranks too, because a lot of people are still figuring out the fundamentals like positioning, character counters, and things like that. Now is not the time that we need to be focused on, oh, we need 3 healers or else we're gonna lose. We need another tank or else it's over with. Some of these players are learning how to play their characters so well that they don't need the extra backup. A good group might be able to hold the front line well enough by himself and not need a second tank. And once again, these team comps are game by game, case by case basis. Just because you had the group that was able to work well by himself the last game does not mean that every group needs to be playing single player tank every single game. It's case by case. Some tanks may need a little more help. Some healers may need a little more help. Some DPSs may need a 3rd DPS for extra damage in certain scenarios. It's case by case. Same thing applies for team synergies, where you'll have people ask for a switch so that they can get a team synergy off, but it's not even going well because the person you asked to switch doesn't understand how this character works. So even though you got a team synergy off, half of the synergy doesn't even know how to play it effectively, potentially making it harder because they don't know how to play their character, they don't know how to play their role. You're putting them in an uncomfortable situation, and this is now leading to us potentially losing the game because we've lost so much momentum trying to force a team comp or trying to force a certain amount of characters on a roll that the entire team synergy is out of whack. Now, these are just some of the most prevalent issues that I've seen people talk about on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, what have you. But this is by no means the first time people have run into these problems. Shoot, any ranked game that you can find probably has some issues similar to this, if not exactly like this. But with this being a game that so many people from so many different gaming backgrounds are coming to play for the first time, I feel like these are some of the main problems that people have run into that are worth talking about, at least on a general scale. Now, I could go on to talk about the problems that persist within each role, but that could be a whole nother video in and of itself. But if you managed to make it this far in the video, feel free to let me know in the comments if you feel like you personally have been struggling with any of these issues. If you want to see me make a video about some of the struggles within different roles and not just generally, feel free to let me know. My name is Skull King, and thanks for watching.